Going to call to order the regular Board of Education meeting at 6:30.
Hello?
Yep. And so we'll stand for the Pledge of Allegiance. So the first thing we're going to do today is the student rep recognition. So Jillian has been a great add to our school board. She's very involved with all things school and community related. And with that, I've never had, as much as I've been on the board, I've not seen a student rep give as many detailed, things that were happening within the school. So I'm really impressed with your detail you went into and stuff. So so thank you, and it's been an honor being working with you for this last year. And if anybody else has anything to say, and if not, once we're done, we're gonna go get a picture taken with her.
I just wonder if, hello, I wonder if you have any words for us? Advice to the board.
Revs. Are we going back to plural? Maybe. I just wanted to say I wrote it for my little recognition thingy, whatever. It's okay. I'll say it again later. But I just wanted to thank you all for working with me when I wasn't here for skiing and track. Forgot about track entirely when I signed up. I was like, oh yeah, I'll be missing for skiing. I looked at my schedule and I go, I'm also missing for track. Forgot about that one. So I just want to say a big thank you for that. You guys were so welcoming. I was a little nervous when I first got here, but I was quickly briefed with, no, you cannot vote, but yes, you can ask questions. So that was probably a good one before I raised my hand to vote for the first time. So, yeah. So I just want to say thank you so much, and I hope the next rep or reps have a wonderful time, and best of luck.
That was our first 8-0 vote. Thank you.
I just wanted to say thank you, and I really appreciate your passion for everything in the school district and your inclusivity for many clubs and sports and adventures and classes. I think you are really living a wonderful high school experience, and I know that you're going to have a fabulous future. And I hope you keep in touch with all of us, and just wish you all the best.
Come over here and get a picture. Yep. And now we have special recognition from Assistant Superintendent Carol Diglio on the 25-26 district retirees.
Good evening. Hi, everyone. It's great to be here to present our class of 2026 retirees. I do want to say, Jillian, outstanding job. All of the retirees would be proud. I'm sure there's some in the room that had you as a student, and just really thanks for all that you did this year. You did a great job. I'm here. I'm Carol Bacchi-Diglio. I'm the Assistant Superintendent of Human Resources, and I am here on behalf of the Saline Area Schools and the Board of Education. It is always my honor and privilege to acknowledge the individuals that retire from education. Tonight, we have 21 individuals this year for a combined 419 years, 0.72 years to be exact, of service in the Saline Area Schools, who are representing the class of 2026 retirees. The daily operations at Saline Area Schools and many schools across the country start as early as 4:45 a.m. when we start sparking up and firing up school buses for their pre-runs. And that goes far into the evening, where the last custodian clocks out at 10:30 p.m. But that never accounts for all of the additional magic that goes on during and after the scheduled workday, behind the scenes of all the business that goes on with lesson planning and reviewing student work, or the late night rehearsals and practices, the competitions, the games, the events, the camps that we plan, the trips that we take, the parks that we go to, and the field days that take place to make sure that all the Hornets, big and small, are provided with a safe place to grow as individuals, to find their own pathways, and to strive to meet their unique potential. With this retiring class, we say thank you to individuals from across several departments with diverse expertise, education, skill sets, technical precision, leadership, talent, passion, and lots of patience. It is always about the people who collectively make up a memorable learning community for kids, and it is always about the people who make it possible for kids to attend schools that are clean, nurturing, rigorous, engaging, diverse, supportive, extremely organized, and inclusive. Without a collective effort, it is not possible in schools. Every adult has a role with a common purpose when they work in education. That purpose is to provide students with equal access to education and beyond. While our roles may look different, our purpose is collective. And tonight, we collectively honor a food service manager, a food service assistant, a lead custodian, a custodian, 2 paraprofessionals, 9 teachers, a first grade teacher, a second grade teacher, a fourth grade teacher, 2 elementary music teachers, 2 high school social studies teacher, 1 CTE electronics teacher, and 1 high school English language arts teacher. We also honor 1 teacher consultant, 1 MTSS specialist, 2 speech and language pathologists, 1 cultural arts program specialist, and 1 finance specialist. We are grateful for the opportunity to honor 6 of our retirees in person this evening. And I'd like to recognize them at the podium as I call their name. Please swing by Betty and grab a rose. But I'd like to start with Trisha Dana, Harvest music teacher, 34 years in Saline Area Schools. We're going to take a picture of everyone if you want to. Rebecca Grebe, community education cultural artist program specialist, 12.3 years in the district. Judith Hayes, heritage music teacher, 25.7 years. Melanie Moore, Liberty Finance Specialist, 10 years in the district. Deb Smith, first grade teacher at Harvest, 28 years in the district. Congratulations. And Carl Spina, high school English language arts teacher, 24.9 years in the district. Collectively, their passion, their experience, and their institutional knowledge has made a huge difference in the Saline Area School District. Thank you for your dedication for over 419 combined years of service. If there's anyone else in the audience that we may have missed, could you please stand? I just want to make sure. Okay. While many of their colleagues were unable to join us this evening, we're fortunate to have the retirees share their parting thoughts and words of wisdom in the slideshow that you see scrolling. That will be added to our website so that you can view it at a later date. But we do thank all of the retirees this year, and we just want to give you a huge thank you for being a significant part of an incredibly important field of work that supports students and an entire community. Thank you for all that you've done for the Saline area schools. We're going to want to take your picture.
What a great handshake.
Okay, this is the first opportunity for public comment. A member of the public may address the board briefly for up to 3 minutes or request to be scheduled on the agenda for a future meeting. Please note that the students will be given priority to speak on any topic. The first public participation portion of this meeting will normally be limited to 30 minutes and will be limited to agenda items. A second public participation portion will be offered at the end of the agenda and allow for any other comments. Individuals addressing the board should observe the rules of common courtesy. The public participation portion of the meeting cannot be used to make personal attacks against board members, district employees, and students. And I don't think we have any. None. Okay. Response to public comment. None. Revisions and approval of the agenda. Can I have a recommended motion to approve the agenda as printed?
Hey, Tim, I just had a question. I realized that Darcy is falling ill today, and so do we have the closed minutes to do that? Okay, perfect. Then I can support as printed.
Okay. Can I get a second?
Tizzity, support.
Okay. All in favor, signify by saying aye.
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 Opposed? Hearing none, motion carries 6-0. Student Showcase, Saline High School highlights, SEC All Academic and National Merit Finalists.
Good evening. We are green. We're good. Thank you all for having us this evening. This is one of my favorite board showcases because it's the last one that we do every year, and it is the culmination of a whole lot of work. So standing in front of you are 4 of our 6 National Merit finalists, 4 of our 5 SEC top 5 students, all academic top 5. And they also were all honored at the Compass Night last week, for those of you who were there. So I would love for you to learn a little bit about the 4 of them. They're going to tell you about their outstanding grade point averages. They don't love to talk about themselves. This is something that we work through. So they're going to be really proud. And you're going to talk about your GPAs. You're going to talk about where you're going to school and what you're going to do and what you've done while you're here and anything else you want to share. Okay? All right. Regina, you want to come first?
Hello, my name is Regina, and I will be going to the University of Michigan next year. And I'll be studying engineering, so either chemical or biomedical engineering. And my grade point average is 4.0. And throughout high school, I've been in a lot of different clubs. I've been in Science Olympiad, National Honor Society, and then Guidus. So those would be like my top favorite clubs, I say. So yeah.
Hello, I'm Eduardo. I will be attending also University of Michigan College of Engineering next year. I took 10 AP classes, 2 dual enrollments, and I had a 4.0 also unweighted. Some of my most proud accomplishments in high school were the things that I felt had the most impact on our community. And like one of those was our Students Against Racism Club, where I helped lead this presentation to the freshman class, which I thought was really nice and impactful. I also served as the NHS secretary, which was a really fun experience, especially having a new advisor and having to deal with all those challenges. That was really nice, and organize all the food drives, all that stuff was really fun. And I also participated in a bunch of other more extracurricular, academically stuff, like Science Olympiad, serving as the captain. And yeah, I had a great time, put in a lot of hard work. And yeah, thank you.
I'm Caden. Next year I'll be going to Cornell University for engineering, chemical engineering probably. I, like them, have a 4.0 and I took several AP classes. As a part of the school, was another captain of the Science Olympiad team, as well as a captain of the Quiz Bowl team, and I was the sousaphone section leader for marching band.
Hello, my name is Henry. I have a 3.9 something GPA, so not as good as these folks. At Saline, I took, I believe, 8 AP classes. I planned a food drive with Eddie for NHS. I was on the marching band and robotics teams. I'm sure there's a bunch of other stuff I'm forgetting. I interned for a U.S. Senate campaign now. And I'm going to U of M next year to study political science, and I hope to study public policy one day.
So before I turn them over to you for questions, I wanted to clarify what exactly, how they got to be one of our top 5 of all the things. So National Merit finalists, when they're in 11th grade, so when your children, if you had any children that went through Saline or anywhere else, in 11th grade in October, the students take the PSAT and MSQT, which is the Practice SAT National Merit Scholarship Qualifying Test. Thank you. I couldn't remember if it was a C or a T at the end. From that test, at the end of their junior year, we just received the list for next year's National Merit qualifiers. They are chosen based on their scores of the test from the national percentile. Then they become semifinalists. Then they become finalists. And to have 6 finalists from one school is pretty impressive. And I believe we have at least 1 scholarship winner. Isn't that correct? Caden's got a scholarship. So the National Merit scholarships don't all come at once. They come little by little throughout the process. Some of them will come after school gets out. So there is still a very good chance that the others will receive one as well, but we just don't know yet. In regard to the SEC all-academic team, which these 4 were a part of, plus 1 other student, all of the schools in the SEC bring their top 5, but their top 5 is determined by GPA and SAT score. So when they took their actual SAT in April, it's a combination, there's a mathematical formula that gives us our top 5. And so these students not only were national merit qualifiers and finalists now, but they also were the top in the school plus their GPA. So really, really impressive. And as you heard, they've all been involved in many, many things in their time in Saline. As our students know who they are, they're everywhere. We see them all the time. And so just another great part about our students in Saline. Great job. I will open it up to you for questions if you've got any for the students.
So first of all, congratulations, and to the others who couldn't be here tonight. My question is, you are very lucky that you get to be in that building and surrounded by all that opportunity and hopefully supports. And we sit up here and sometimes we make decisions for the school district without having the benefit of being in that building all the time, or in our other buildings, and we try to do our best. So my question is, what advice would you give the Board of Education on how to best support the students in the years that follow you leaving us?
Okay, so I got nominated for this question, so thank you. I think that my favorite part of Saline is that we have a bunch of teachers who are really extraordinary. I can't speak for other schools, but I know that every teacher I've had here is truly cares about me and is willing to provide me any help that I may need. And I think that in your role as board members, listening to the teachers who do the day-to-day of the school and have been here for longer than your terms is probably the most beneficial thing to see what's going on in the school and how the affairs of the school are going. And
I think that's an excellent answer, and you're going to do very well at the University of Michigan in political science. Thank you.
When Vice President Stebbins started saying her question, I thought she was going to take mine, but luckily wasn't. So my question is, you four have accomplished so much. You did a lot of extracurriculars. You were involved in a lot of things. What is the best piece of advice you can give to incoming freshmen that want to follow in your footsteps?
I'll take this one. Yes, I can. I can speak from experience here. I think the biggest thing is being able to step outside your comfort zone. Because I know initially I was always a little fixated on, let me bring my friend along to these clubs or whatever. And that can really hold you back because the amount of clubs I was in or the amount of involvement my freshman year was a lot lower than the other ones where I more put myself out there. And in that process, you also learn a lot more about yourself. I feel being you grow in your discomfort. And that's what my advice would be to the freshmen is just put yourself out there and be unapologetically yourself. So that's what I would say.
I don't really have a question, but I did want to say I'm not sure if you participated in the high school pen pal program, but through that I got a chance to meet Henry, and through Henry I got a chance to hear about the rest of you, and it's a delight when occasionally we run into parents in the streets who say, those kids today they don't focus on school or anything, and they don't know, they're unfocused and unmoored. I just hope they're watching you four tonight and hearing, and sorry, Henry, 3.9 something? 3.993, I believe. I don't know if you heard, some of the other board members were going, they made a noise when you said that. You said, close enough for government work, thank you. Henry, well done to all of you, regardless of the GPA, but it's remarkable. And I just want to say thank you for putting yourself out that way and stepping up tonight. Thanks.
Yes, and I'd like to thank all of you as well. I attended the Compass Awards, and that's just an amazing event, and seeing you all and your peers that have excelled, and man, just doing some wonderful things. And Henry, my son was in robotics, so he's been graduated for a few years now, but I just remember sitting there at the robotics events, and Henry always had the energy. and that was awesome. So at least you brought the energy. So thank you. We'll all go over here for a picture. Okay, we're going to move on to the administrative and board committee updates. Superintendent updates.
Thank you. Good evening, Board President Austin, trustees, colleagues, members of the community who are remaining. And I do want to first start with Jillian. Jillian, thank you for your service on the school board and for the way you've represented Saline area schools here, and also through the Historic Preservation Foundation. She also does that as well. I'm actually, I'll just put it back in here. I made a comment about like Jillian lives by me, and I think she's home less than me, which is like, that's like, you know, like you're busy. You're very busy. She's constantly showing up, serving, and giving her time to the people and places she cares about, and I have no doubt you will continue to do that in our community. May is such a full and wonderful season. Concerts, field days, award nights, we've all been to many of them, and soon graduation, transition celebrations, clap outs, and all the all of those things. May is a season of celebration, but I also must acknowledge the recent loss of Dylan Williams, a beloved student at Saline Middle School. We'll continue to hold in our hearts him, his family, and the names and stories of the people who have mattered deeply to our district this year. That includes Dylan, Amaya, Steve, Garlic, Shannon, Amina, and I also want to note that we also lost at Heritage Kona, beloved dog of one of our teachers, and who supported Heritage as well. So in the moments of joy and sorrow, I've learned already that this community continues to demonstrate care for each other, resilience, and connection, and I'm deeply grateful, and I know we will continue to do that. A few quick reminders as we kind of branch into, again, some other updates and announcements. June 3rd and June 4th are half days for students. June 4th marks the official end of the 2025-2026 school year. The 26-27 district calendar is also available on our website, has been for a while. I wanted to actually highlight, I was in service Sunday and I had a comment about Thanksgiving. And I've had nothing but great feedback on that, but we did consider feedback ahead of that change. But you just make sure that you're checking out Thanksgiving break. Families have the whole week off, and I continue to get individual feedback about that. And we're just pleased that our families are enjoying the potential for those couple extra days. Our goal always is to balance instructional time, staff learning, attendance patterns, data, and family needs as thoughtfully as possible. As you saw earlier, tonight we have the privilege of honoring honoring our retirees, and it's just always a meaningful moment. I do want to note that in addition to tonight's recognition, we're also piloting, in collaboration with SCA, a district-wide gathering tomorrow, so I hope to see all of you at the Saline High School STEAM Center, and that starts at 4:30 to 6. We hope that those retirees, even maybe some more of them that couldn't make it tonight, will join us for that time, and we're inviting their friends, colleagues to say some words about them, share memories, etc. Our team has been working hard to prepare after the CARES and Sinking Fund was approved by the board, millage renewal. And so I wanted to note that the renewal website is located for information about this renewal, and it's tinyurl.com/vote SAS26. Both the CARES Recreation and Playground and Millage and the Sinking Fund renewals will be on the ballot Tuesday, August 4th, 2026. And both renewals involve no increase to current tax rates, which are set to expire with the 2027 tax levy. Polls are open that day from 7 a.m. to 8 p.m. And of course, you can get information. I think we link out from our website how to also vote absentee, just as an informational piece. The CARES Recreation Millage supports the daily operations of the Saline Area Senior Center, the Ellen Ewing Performing Arts Center, the community pool, the pool at Saline High School, general recreation, before and after school care and preschool offerings, and it funds grants for valued local partners like Saline Area Social Services, Dementia Friendly, and we have other on our website just to share transparently those organizations with the community. The Sinking Fund millage supports critical maintenance around our schools. It can be anything from roof repair to HVAC, sidewalks, flooring, and both of these are, again, all that information is on our website. Few things, Saline High School sharings, of course, Dr. Steger, Mrs. Kevnick, the board, myself, and all of our staff and so many families are excited to celebrate the class of 2026 this Sunday at Hornet Stadium. Graduates need to arrive on time. I know how this goes. Whew, sweating already. And gates open for families at 4 p.m. and the ceremony begins at 6. And a live stream link, I believe, was posted, but we will be sure that that is posted a couple different times for you. This is a joyful and meaning celebration. I have no doubt that we will all happily send you off into the sunset on Sunday with no rain. It will be beautiful, I'm sure. Congratulations to the Saline High School student Jackson Erickson, who was selected to serve on the Michigan Department of Education Student Advisory Council. I wanted to acknowledge him publicly. He will join students from across Michigan in meeting monthly with State Superintendent Dr. Maleko and give his offerings and student voice to MDE initiatives. So that resonated a little bit from Henry's wise words to us about listening to students and teachers in schools. And I also I'm not going to say too much of this. I know that others will, but I just, Mrs. Stuckey's classes last week, the Biomedical Innovation Shark Tank, just blew me away. There's just no words to talk. I'm actually going off script. There's no words to describe how amazing it was. So it takes an incredible teacher to do that work, and the students were very impressive. Couple more things. Since our last meeting and the authorization to move forward with the Heinz Drive property purchase for our early childhood programs, our team has been hard at work, many hours in the day on those next steps in the due diligence process with our partners. We've been trusted to do this work, and we have trusted our partners on other projects, and they've created brilliant learning spaces with our team before, so we're just really digging in very early and, of course, doing the due diligence on the process that we've laid out. Supporting our families through early childhood programs is critical for our entire community, and this investment reflects what we've heard again and again from families, that we need accessible early learning experiences. So we will continue. We're committed to, I hope to bring you an update every single board meeting as we continue this process. And to the community, we'll be posting that information as well on our website, and we're just really excited about that and the work ahead. Elementary, just a couple last minute things to share in terms of updates. Wanted to share my appreciation to Sarah Nelson and Mandy Rucky and those on the Liberty team who helped with those walkthroughs at our 4 elementary buildings. Thank the principals, the staff members who were there, and the families who spent time in our buildings. That is just such a cherished tradition, and it was wonderful to see again. Want to thank the Saline Area Schools Historic Preservation Foundation, who will continue to host our 2nd and 4th graders at Weber Bless each year. I happened to be leaving Heritage last week and saw some of our 4th graders who were preparing to go over there, and they were just in full ensemble, very traditional clothing. It was just really exciting. So, and congratulations to 3 Woodland Meadows students who placed in the Washtenaw County Recycling Program Art Contest. I thought this was pretty cool. We placed in 1st, 2nd, and 3rd from Woodland Meadows Elementary School, which is pretty cool. So as we close the 2026 school year, last board meeting of the school year, I want to thank our Board of Education for your continued dedication, partnership, questions, due diligence, all of the things, and commitment to our school district, our kids, and for showing up And here's to another year, but not quite yet. We have a summer in between. So have a good rest of the night, everyone. That's it for me.
Thank you. Student representative, Jillian.
Oh, for the last time, I want to start off and congratulate all of the retiring staff. Many of you I had personally as staff members, and I wanted to thank you all for being with me on my high school journey. I'm sure all of you have left a legacy behind you that will be carried on by the students and school community, and we wanted to thank you all for your time and enjoy whatever may come next for you. And I have just a couple schools that sent me updates. I sent it out yesterday, which I know is a holiday, so thank you to the principals that responded to me on their technical break. From Woodland Meadows, Mrs. Washington said that they are so incredibly fortunate to have community partners where students are able to visit and continue their learning outside of the classroom. Their students placed first, second, and third in the Ann Arbor Recycling Contest. Their students have either gone to the Saline District Library or the library has come to us due to weather. Their students have also visited the zoo, Ann Arbor Hands-On Museum, and the Botanical Gardens. As well, Young Five's graduation / kindergarten picnic and the third grade bowling trip will all be wrapping up this year. A special thank you to, I apologize if I mess up your names, Mandy Pearson and Leslie Denlinger, who put together the Woodland Meadows yearbook that captured all the year's wonderful memories. From Pleasant Ridge, they're wrapping up the school year, and they're busy with end-of-the-year fun things like picnics, field trips, and community events, as everyone celebrates and closes out another great year. From Harvest, they are finishing up a very strong year. Last Friday, they had their wonderful field day with the support from their PE teacher and their fabulous PTO team. Additionally, they have lots of end-of-the-year activities planned to end the year strong. At the end of the year, they will say goodbye to 2 of their staff members who will be retiring and who have spent many years at Harvest. Music teacher, Mrs. Dana, and our first grade teacher, Mrs. Smith. And finally, at Heritage, they have taken the last 3 Zip and Zoo trips this week, and their field trip day on May 22nd was a success, and the end of the year celebrations and the final Spirit Week will carry them through June 4th. And finally, for the high school, finals are coming up, so best of luck to all of you. The new Saline yearbook staff has been chosen, so congratulations to all of those editors. And May Day for Link Crew is also coming up, so best of luck, and I hope those who would like to become Link Crew leaders do. And of course, graduation is this Sunday, where I will be signing the national anthem with my ASL club, so I'm very excited. And I am also headed to Michigan State University for genetics and biotechnology. And I wanted to thank everybody for this wonderful opportunity. It's been an absolute blast to be the student representative. And while I may have been out for a bit, your belief in me was absolutely astronomical. And I wish you all a safe and happy summer. And as always, go Hornets.
Okay, so now we have the general and committee updates from trustees. I guess I will go first. So I did want to thank all of our retired staff as well. The 419 years combined service. That's crazy. That's awesome. And I know that they've impacted a lot of students in those years. So thank you and congratulations to them, and wish them the best of luck. Also, congratulations to all our seniors that are graduating on Sunday. That'll be a fun event for all of us to be able to attend, and a great day for you guys as well. Also, the Strategic Planning Committee met today. We discussed ongoing work with the strategic plan with Bridget Corey of the SEA. So that was a useful, a good meeting, and thank you for all your work you're doing on that. And then tomorrow, Jennifer and I are going to be sitting down with, I can't even remember the number, 7-ish students for next year's student rep seats. So that'll be fun. Thanks.
I do have a few. I do have a few things. So as you heard earlier, President Austin and I helped recognize students at the Compass Night, which was great. But I wanted to also give out a shout to, pardon me, Chef Danielle and her team of students. Oh my gosh, the desserts. By the time I went back for seconds, they were already gone. So they were awesome. On Monday, I attended the legislative breakfast at Washington Intermediate School District offices. Georgina Frost from Representative Dingell's office was in attendance, as were Senators Jeff Irwin and other legislators and superintendents. And among other things we discussed, and it was a kind of a surprising question, some of the legislators wanted to know why so many school districts were reluctant to accept the state's 31AA funding. And so we had a very candid conversation with legislators when you think they, I was happy that we were in a position to educate them some. So it's always a great experience. And on Tuesday, Darcy's not here, so let me speak on behalf of her too. She did a great job. We had the STEM celebration. It went on for a while, so some of you on the board may have gone as well. But I had a great time. Here are just a couple highlights for me is watching the little kids, maybe second, third grade, talking with incredible confidence to some of those older students. I don't think I would have had that confidence when I was that age. And they were asking science questions and robot questions, and it was fantastic. I even brought yes, you were there. I brought my little Sphero robot and gave my phone, very brave of me, I gave my smartphone to children to have it drive around. And I thought, oh, that's great, keeping an eye on my phone the whole time. And then at one point I saw my little blue robot flying across the floor. And it wasn't because it was driven, it was because it was kicked by one of the older students. So I can happily report that the robot still works. And it was such a great night. It was a wonderful night. And thank you to everyone who put it on. It was fantastic. That's my report.
We had our third athletic committee meeting this morning, and one of the themes that's kind of coming out of the committee so far is that we have one of the discussion items is the state of athletics and roundtable, and it's just simply how are things going, and it's really creating a lot of great open dialogue with everybody. So I think we're being very productive with those discussions. The other issue that we discussed was the changes in the conference and some of the challenges that we might face in the short term, but the consensus is that it's going to be really good for the district over a course of 1 or 2 or 3 years, and it's going to help elevate the competition for Saline. And third, we really wanted to, well, one other point is we discussed the long-term planning for facilities, giving a kind of a ranking of what's going to be coming down the pipe here in the next 2 or 3 years. And then finally, we wanted to really focus on the success of the spring sports. The comment was made to Ashley, are you going to be able to go to the States this weekend? And the response was, which one? And I thought that was just, couldn't sum it up any better. We have almost all of our spring sports competing in districts, state tournaments, and just a tremendous amount of success with all the athletes. And I would like to give Jillian a shout out that she is involved not only in skiing, but she runs the 2 mile for track. So we've got to see her several times running. Congratulations. Very good meeting, and with the athletics, I'm really excited about the direction things are heading.
I just wanted to say my heart is bursting with pride for those retirees and those students. And I'm just thinking about all of our staff and students who aren't here, and I'm wishing them a very, very happy end of the school year. It's all I can think about. And for our staff that we lost this year and our friends that we lost and student, just thinking of them as we close out our year as well.
I would echo that. Heartfelt thanks to the teachers and staff and paraeducators who are retiring, and wishing them the very best. And I'm so proud of all the seniors, no matter, which way your path led you through this high school. Standing up there on the stage at commencement is a big accomplishment, and congrats to their families as well. This month is Mental Health Awareness Month, and sending out support for anybody for whom this end of the school year and commencement and all the pressures involved is more bitter than sweet sometimes. there are people who are here to help you. Thank you to all those in our schools who do that hard work every day. And I know that that support's been really needed lately. So sending care and compassion to our whole school community.
Thank you, Dr. Gold, for bringing that up. Mental Health Awareness Month is a very critical month for a lot of people that need to be kind of elevated and lifted up. So thank you for bringing that up. I want to say congrats to all the grads, especially Jillian over there. And I'm going to echo everything that everybody else said. I don't know how you had time to even appear for the meetings that you did, so thank you very much for that. Thank you to the retirees, obviously. 419 years, I think it was 0.72. Thank you. So that's a lot of institutional knowledge that we're losing, but congrats to all of them, and I wish them nothing but the best. Echo something that Superintendent Kowalski said with Mrs. Stuckey's PLTW class in the biomedical innovations. I know Jillian was in that class. I didn't get a chance to see her present, but I had 3 great presentations. I love doing that. I encourage the community to get involved. A lot of the teachers put out calls for community members to join. It's absolutely amazing, and I can't express more than what Dr. Kowalski already said. It's just amazing to see these kids do this stuff. And it was not graded, right, Jillian? Oh, it was graded. Oh, okay. I thought Mrs. Stuckey said it wasn't graded, but it's just fantastic. And then finally, policy committee met again. We're moving through all the policies. We should be rolling some of those up to the board here in the next month or so. End of school year, summertime, booking meetings is a little bit challenging, but we're working on it, and we will try to get all of that buttoned up prior to the next school year.
Thank you. So we'll go on to the action items. Can I have a recommended motion to approve the closed session minutes of May 12, 2026, related to the purchase and lease of property acquisition in accordance with Open Meetings Act 8D? And I have those, so I'll pass those around right now.
So moved, McVeigh.
Support Hanson.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Hearing none, motion carries 6-0. Consent agenda. Can I have a recommended motion to authorize the consent agenda as printed?
So moved.
Support, McVeigh.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Hearing none, motion carries 6-0. Items scheduled on the next agenda.
This is a short agenda, but here's the list for next time. We have Truth and Taxation hearing, Athletic Department update, which will be presented by our Athletic Director and Assistant Athletic Director, and with feedback from the Athletic Committee, Food Service Contract Renewal, the annual renewal. We will have a presentation. Also, we'll have 2 presentations. One will be much shorter from the Foundation for Saline Area Schools, and that will be from Stacy Rumsa. And I believe our new Executive Director will also be joining at that at that presentation, the approval of the annual MHSAA resolution, the approval of your annual MASB membership renewal as well. And we will also give recognition to Stacy Rumsfa. And what am I missing? That's it. But I'm sure there'll be more.
Okay. This is a second opportunity for public comment. Member of the public may address the board briefly for up to 3 minutes or request to be scheduled on the agenda for a future meeting. I don't see any. None. Okay. The next Board of Education meeting will be held on June 9th, 2026 at 6:30 p.m. And can I have a recommended motion to adjourn the regular Board of Education meeting May 26th, 2026 at 7:20?
So moved, Tizities.
Support Stebbin.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Hearing none. Motion carries 6-0. Thank you.